and I can hit record. We are recording. We are going. Welcome back to Witch Hat Atelier, episode 9. The episode about everything being fine, and don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about Keyfree especially. Don't worry about him. Everything is fine. If you've not been along to one of these reactions before, well, you've probably been, and you've heard the spiel, but I'm going to give it anyway, just in case. I'm not going to show you the anime, because of, copyright and things, for the most part. You're going to have the anime yourself on your own laptop, or PC, or phone, or whatever in front of you, and you're going to have to stay in sync with me by the simple convenience of a countdown. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go, and then we both go at the same time, and then I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, pause, and then we both pause at the same time whenever I have some extended thing that I need to yap about. There's also a timestamp in the top left corner and some subtitles to help you stay in touch with more or less where I am. That's the way we do it here on YouTube because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to do 5 billion tons of editing work to try and get a reaction out on YouTube only to get it copyright claimed anyway, like it happens to poor Danny Mata all the time. So that's the way we do it. But if that's a bit inconvenient for you, yeah, that's understandable. But you can join the Discord, these weird freaks over here, and you can watch me do these reactions live, and that's a lot more convenient. Or else you can become a member of the channel, and then you'll get access to some more convenient versions of the reactions that are easy to watch. If that's something you want. That costed like $1 a month, but honestly, you don't have to. This is a way to do it that works reasonably well for enough people that somehow I have subscribers on this channel. So I'm just going to keep doing it that way. Yeah, it sounds about right to me. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you for getting in so quickly. No, what? No, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Brush buddy. Of course. uh
Ah, Richie. Yeah.
So we're dropping a whole bunch of hints here. Three, two, one. Pause. Fun way to adopt that or adapt that. Riche, stop dabbing and help. What just what a lovely little just dad and his kids hanging out, having fun. See, it's a cozy anime. It's cozy. It's a cozy, sweet, good time. And don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about what Richie said. It's fine. She's just a little kid and she's being a little silly, and don't worry about it. And the thing AGOTT being like a part of a noble, like a very sort of famous fan, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But we are getting characterization here. Actually, before that, I want to see. Someone had some fun with. That's a good little cut animation. So, like, they start. We do the first push in, and then we just hold for like several frames just on this to give it like a little moment to land, and then pull up like the little turning the pear or the apple in the hand, the little wiggle of the fingers to sort of. What a lovely little animation. And here we have like this is sort of classic. We need an exposition chapter, right? Like we need like okay, we need well, not a chapter, but we need like okay, we need to establish some world building details here that we haven't really had time to establish before, and we need to establish the structure of the narrative going forward. And so we get this little bit here, like where you can see okay, so the narrative is going to be structured around these 5 tests that they're going to have to take, right? Like where we can see Coco's goal of being able to take on the tower comes after the 3rd test. And this like gives a structure to the story going forward, right? Like essentially a 5-act structure, depending on how well it ends up being followed. Of course, lots of anime, lots of especially shonen anime will try to set up structures like this, like to say, okay, we have to do this, then that thing, and then that's sorry. And then they tend to get derailed somewhere along the way. One Piece is sort of a famous example of this. Ichiro Oda's original plan was that it was supposed to take about 5 years. Luffy was going to go to the Grand Line. He was going to fight the 4 emperors. He was going to find the One Piece. We have a structure. We have a system in place. And then he gets to the Baratie, and it's like, I need a cool name for the Mihawk guy that Sora has to fight. What about call him a Warlord of the Sea? That sounds cool. Hey, Warlords of the Sea. What about the other ones? What if there's other Warlords of the Sea? Oh, no. And then that whole section of the story just sort of balloons out from that random idea he had. Like, at one point, he's spoken very openly about it, that the 7 warlords were not supposed to matter. It was just supposed to be, oh, yeah, there's a cool title one of the characters can have. And then it escalates, right? That's how it goes with a lot of stories. You start with such a strong sense of like the structure, but it's also part of the nature of, especially when you're doing serialized manga or any kind of serialized storytelling, is when you are in the constant act of making shit up as you go along, right? And especially when you are writing a story, putting it out, getting reactions and feedback, and then those reactions and feedback change how you feel about it. It's not like writing a novel, right? Like where you sit down, you write a draft of the story, and then you look at it and go, okay, that bit is bad, this sucks, you change that bit, and you iterate and you alter and you edit it and you change it gradually as you go. When you're doing it serialized like this, the story still changes in all the same ways that it would if you were sitting down to write like a single collected work, but it does that gradually while you are in the process of making it. And that's just one of the fun things about serialized storytelling. Sometimes that means you end up with a story that's a lot stronger and a lot more interesting than what the idea that you started with. And then sometimes you end up with some shit that becomes a huge fuck of a mess, like Bleach. What? I didn't say that. No one said anything. You didn't hear that. I didn't say it. But yeah, we're getting like we're laying out the structure of the narrative, right? These steps along the journey, each of them being like, I'm looking for a word. You have these steps along the journey, each of them, it's not a hallmark, it's a peilemärke, landmark. Each of them is like a landmark for the character's development and for Coco's development as a witch. As she learns more and more, comes closer and closer to her goal of being able to help her mother, right? That's gonna be great. Like, we're just gonna go, we're gonna do 1 test, and then 2 tests, and then 3 tests, and then 4 tests, and then everything's gonna be fine, and nothing's gonna interrupt it, fortunately. And along with that, we get some more insight into her classmates, as it were, right? How they feel about magic, how they feel about what it's for. We've talked about this with AGOTT, right? What is AGOTT? What is magic for AGOTT? Well, for AGOTT, it's about she's trying to get revenge, in a sense. She's trying to avenge herself. She's trying to heal herself of the deep rejection that she suffered from her family, right? She's like, I'm gonna get good enough, I'm gonna get so fucking good at magic that they're gonna take back what they said, and then I won't have to feel this pain anymore, right? Like, I won't have to feel this insufficiency, this worthlessness. I won't have to feel it anymore. That's what magic is for AGOTT, right? And as we talked about, that desire for her, right? That desire for AGOTT to prove herself, that she desperately needs to progress so that she can prove herself, which she can heal this foundational trauma inside of her soul of rejection by her family, is in conflict with the thing that magic is supposed to be for. Magic is supposed to be for making the world a better place, for helping people, right? It's not supposed to be something you use for your own ambitions. It's supposed to be something you do in a way that's helpful to other people, right? Other people's needs should come before your own, theoretically. And I say theoretically because AGOTT is not the only character. But, and like, Techa is perhaps, of all of the Keyfree's apprentices, Techa is perhaps the one who sort of most purely embodies this idea of magic for the sake of others, right? She's the one who sort of most purely expresses that ambition. Like, I just want to go around the world and help people and make everyone happy. And it's going to be good, and it's going to be lovely, and it's going to be fun. And she has these pitch pure ambitions as we understand them so far, right? Whereas AGOTT is much more at the risk of selfishness. Right? She's much more at the risk of turning dark, basically, which you can kind of, like, her character design, as we talked about the contrast with Coco, right? Like, AGOTT is the darker apprentice. And so AGOTT is more obviously in tension with it. Tetcha we'll get to. And then there's Ricci, who, as we learn here, has like a really negative relationship with tests and being told what to do, right? And there's an extent to which, like, this is a 12-year-old with an oppositional defiance problem, right? Like, which, like, is not a problematic term, that, but she doesn't like being told what to do. She has a sort of demand avoidance and a real disdain for adults, as we saw in their confrontation with the knights earlier. She has a real disdain for adults, and she doesn't want to be forced to draw spells she doesn't want to draw. She doesn't want to be forced to do things she doesn't want to do. She wants to stay as she is, right? She doesn't want to be changed by this. She doesn't want to be told how to change, how to become one thing or another. And clearly, that comes with some emotional baggage for her. And it's interesting, like, in terms of the trio quadro? Duo, trio, quatrain? Quatrain, whatever. Quartet, yes, there we go. In terms of the quartet of the apprentices, right, it creates the situation where all four of them are to some extent in tension. Well, again, we'll get to Tetcha, but like Coco, Ricci, and AGOTT, all three of them have a certain tension with the purpose of magic, what magic is for, right? And they certainly have a tension with the teaching style and the systems of witch society, right? Where AGOTT is impatient and doesn't want to wait. She doesn't want to have to slowly work her way through all of these fucking gates. She wants to get there now, right? And Ricci doesn't want to get there. She doesn't want to go anywhere because they're telling her where to go, and she doesn't want to do that. And then there's Coco, who has a very specific goal in mind. She wants to save her mom, right? That's the main thing. That's the thing that drives her, primarily. And for the moment, that goal aligns with the structure of the witch test taking. Like, she past 3 tests, you can go to the tower, you can look for a way to save your mother. Okay, cool. This all aligns right now. Right now, for the moment, right at this instance, that all aligns. But there is that: what if going to the tower doesn't give her quite what she's looking for? What then, right? What then is magic for? So it's like we're establishing something about all of their personalities, right? About their backstories, how they relate to magic. We've established a structure for the quest, right? The quest that they're all going to go on to pass the 5 tests and so on. Now we've established the stakes, the personal, sort of like the personal stakes and the personal relationship that they all have to this particular task. And then the story can bounce off of that. Power thus acquired will never betray you. That sure sounds ominous. Oh, goddammit, did I forget to put down a marker? I forgot to put down a marker. Okay. We are at 6 minutes, 22 seconds exactly. I shall not forget to put down a marker again, he lied. Right as the theme song starts. 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey, breaking glass imagery. Almost like the breaking glass imagery that's in the ending. Baby. Normal reaction to your pupil coming down the stairs, Keyfree. A lot. God, that's so fucking cool, though. 3, 2, 1, pause. I do need to see that in slow motion. Yeah. Ah, that's cool. And you can see you can see the classic thing, right? The way that all the painted texture goes away when we have to animate it, because now we're animating on cells. But fuck me if that doesn't look cool. Whoop. Just imagine if you could just do that. Like if someone's annoying you, you just kind of wipe. And then there's a wall. Fuck off. I wish I had like that. That's one of the reasons I can't be a witch. I would misuse that. I would cask of Amontillado so many motherfuckers. You don't even know. Just like I would just like there'd be so many people who just like be there'd be a basement and then they would be in there and then I wouldn't have to worry about them anymore. My God. I wouldn't even bother with the Amontillado. I'd drink that shit myself. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, pause. Once again, we see that, like, does the memory spell not count as performing magic on the body? Yes, but that one's allowed because they need it to preserve the structure of their society, right? That's what we talked about. Like, that's that hypocrisy that sort of is inherent to power, right? Is we understand from the story, and we will learn that there are very good reasons why the magic that is forbidden, right? Like it's not that doesn't come from nowhere. It's not a random mustache twirling tyrant who just went, I'm forbidding all magic that I don't like. Right? There are good reasons why. And in order to preserve that status quo, that certain magic must not be used, there has to be a power structure to enforce that, right? There has to be a power structure to enforce ignorance. There has to be a power structure to enforce the rules of magic. And that power structure needs exceptions to be made where it can wield power that is forbidden to everyone else in defense of itself, because otherwise it can't, like, without having a monopoly on a certain kind of power, the power structure can't preserve itself, right? And so there is this little crack of hypocrisy in the side of the power structure, right? Where this magic is forbidden except for us under special circumstances whenever we decide it's forbidden. And we saw this with Aestheus, right? He was like, oh, okay, I have decided that it is now justified to use this power. I'm going to mind wipe this child without further conversation, right? Because he's in a position of authority to do that, to make those calls and make those decisions. And that's, that's not great. That's not amazing. And we see here, right, like when it was like the righteous witches of Healingcraft fought them on the bitter end, because, well, magic, we use magic to heal people. What the fuck do you mean we can't use magic to heal people? Because, like, again, if you're sitting there with someone who's dying of a disease that you could cure with a simple spell cast, and they are withering away right in front of you, and someone comes along and says, forbidden though, you're not allowed to save this man's life. Yeah, no, you would be somewhat justified in being like, fuck you, actually, I'm gonna do it. And that's another thing that, again, the story will be engaging with as we go. It's like, yeah, spells on the body, you can heal people, that's amazing. You can heal people, you can fix the most dire wounds, you can cure cancer, you can restore a person's sight, you could do all kinds of amazing things. And also, you can give them cancer, you can give them turbo cancer, you can give them, like, cancer 2, the new cancer that you've invented, which is like an even worse cancer, which is like infectious and can pass. Like, as Kefri says, when people have the ability to do anything, anything is what they will do, right? So you understand the prohibition that, like, down this road, shit just gets, right? Especially from the perspective of bodily autonomy, right? Because it's one thing to say, okay, someone is dying of some terrible disease, and you draw a spell seal on their body, and then that heals them, and then they're fine. Okay, good, you're a hero, great, fantastic. What if you decide that someone has a disability, and you're like, well, you shouldn't have that disability, I'm just gonna get rid of it? What if that person doesn't feel that their condition is a disability that needs to be cured? What if someone is autistic? What if someone has ADHD? What if someone is asexual, and someone comes along and says, asexuality, well, that's a deficiency of your libido. I can cure that. I can fix that problem in you. What if someone is homophobic, right? Like, what if there's a father who's like, my son needs to marry a woman to pass down the family lineage, and the son is like, but I don't want to fucking marry a woman. Go find a pliable witch who can change your son's mind. Right? So it's like, yes, healing, but also, oh boy, the potential for horror, right? The potential for terrible eugenics. And that's a tension that's inherent to, modern medicine as well. It's a thread that runs through the history of modern medicine and mental health care. But it's one of those things where, like, you understand why the healing witches fought to the bitter end to be allowed to heal people. And also, you understand that there are ways that their powers can be applied that it makes sense to forbid. Right? And also, like, it's not really a spoiler to say that, like, this shit also gets into people who want to be immortal. It gets into people who want to live forever, be young forever, who might not be willing to accept the death of a loved one and are determined to bring them back by whatever means necessary, no matter what that does to their loved one, right? Like, it gets into shit like that. But it is one of those tensions, right? Who gets to decide what magic is acceptable and unacceptable? Who gets to make the call that, okay, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine, that one, no, wrong, go. Who gets to make the call, right? Like, isn't it possible to negotiate some way in which some healing spells, like maybe there's like a corpus of acceptable healing spells And then not all of them have to be forbidden. Like, isn't there some other who gets to make those decisions, right? Who gets to make those decisions? And the answer is not the people, because the people are kept ignorant of magic. Only the witches themselves, specifically the pointed cap witches organized around their organization, they get to make those calls, and no one else gets to say shit about it. And this will be problematized as the story goes on. And, like, just to drive it home, right? This twinned bottle spell, the whole point of this twinned bottle spell is I have made a healing potion, someone else needs a healing potion, cool. I can instantly teleport my healing potion to the person who needs it by twinning these bottles and, like, bringing them together. But what the brimmed caps did was that they took Coco's little ink bottle and were like, hey, we're going to give you some really fucked up murder ink that's going to do some real fucked up shit to whatever you draw on. And you're not going to be able to tell, and we can just make you cast a spell that dries up an entire river, right? So again, we establish this beneficial use of the spell that is available, but there's also like, yeah, here's also the other thing you can do if you're a little bit creative with it. And that's, again, thematically a big core of Witch Hat Atelier is this. It's about creativity, right? It's about the responsibilities of creativity, the responsibilities of invention, right? And how we structure the world in such a way that our inventions aren't used to do horrible things. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, pause. Let's just have a look at some of this. I like the little... You can see the searching he's doing, right? Like the way that he's bobbing around trying to get a feel for where it is, and then Oink. And it's being communicated quite well, because it's a combination of the little pincette, little thing, the little snippy, grabby thing. Forceps. Yes, thank you. It's a combination of the motion of the forceps. Whoops, small animation mistake. Ha! Animation mistake. I caught you. Look, that line disappears and then reappears 1 frame later. Ha! Caught in 4K. Terrible animation. Bad. You suck. All of you. Terrible. It's a miracle if you have any piece of animation without mistakes, by the way. And then as he grabs it, the ink becomes still. And that stillness then helps drive the tension as we get this slow removal. Gorgeous transparency effect on that coin, too. And then cut in close. And it's the moment it leaves the ink, there's something that goes off. A little contingency plan. Which, again, imagine if Coco... Like, imagine if she'd been the one to discover something was clinking around. Like, eventually she was going to notice that the bottle wasn't running out, right? Good gracious. And again, just good establishing, right? Like we know that Keyfree has this spell on a piece of paper that when it is smeared across something, it extends. Like in the case of the brick walls, it extends the brick walls. But here he smears it up from the ground and it extends the ground, allows him to block the lightning. Which is like clever setup and payoff from Shirahama. And again, good use of that tension as well. That we have here, and then we have like 1, 2, 3 frames staying here, winding up where you can see he's twisting his body into the motion. Then snap, 1 single frame with a bit of smearing. And then we allow settle, and the ground follows, and you get that sense of like him whoosh, pulling the ground up like that. Fantastic. This is kind of a funny shot, though. It's like, water, oh no! Beesh! This could be comedy if the situation wasn't, you know, life-threatening. It's fun seeing the way they achieve, because, like, when it's in motion, you get this sense of a rapidly spinning water column, right? You get this water tornado almost. When you actually look at what's done to achieve it, it really is just, you can see we have these color layers, right? Like we have this outer boundary that's a little bit bright, then we have an inner thing that's a little bit dark because that's like the backside of the rise of the water column. And all we do is just blah, 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 blah. We just blob some scribbles up along the side that sort of travel up the side, like blah, 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 blah. And we do that on both sides. And then most of the spinning motion is imparted by these contrasting rings, right? Like you have this blue ring on the inside of it and this light blue ring on the outside, and they don't really move that much when you track the motion of each individual bit, right? Like they just kind of slowly, but the combination of the jaggedness and the speed lines and the wobbling of it, what you get in total is the sense of something that's spinning quite rapidly, right? Like a water column that's really fucking going. but it's achieved by such simple means, right? Like, it's not super realistic or anything. It's a simple stylization that gives you that sense of rapidity. Beautiful. And then just like insult to injury. Hey, you're in the water. Guess what happens? have a little cattle prod. Just to disable him a bit. This is gorgeous too. This spiraling column of the water receding. Boop. And I like the animation on the bottle as well. Like, it falls over, the coin clinks, it just sort of rolls around and lands, and then it sort of seems to take on a life of its own, right? Where the coin starts rattling around and the bottle just moves and stands upright, and you get this shaking. It's such a good way to indicate that, like, there's some force actively. It's not just a passive little trap, but someone is, like, actively manipulating it, and of course... Hello. Oh, they love playing with the physics of that cloak. As they should. It's such a striking part of the character design. It really is with this brimmed cap witch with the eyeball hat. It really is. It's all about the tassels on the hat and on the cloak and the billowing, and like it's like octopus, like it has that sense of like a deep sea creature or something. There's a real sense of like envelopment and grasp and control. I will get back what's taken from me. Well, that's probably fine. Don't worry about it. You can still see the scar where he was cutting himself to put blood in Coco's ink. Oh, that's pretty. But yeah, blood in the ink apparently fucks with it. Interesting. Interesting thought. Hey, what was it they said about what the ink was? It was the something of the tree? Can't remember. It was probably not important. It probably doesn't matter. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. AGOTT, could you lighten up a bit? In fairness, that happens to me in the morning as well. I love this scene. Remember those shoes. Three, two, one. Pause. They're roommates, Your Honor. Yeah, they really did a lot to pay attention to the acting in this scene between the two of them. And, like, again, bear in mind, what does this tell you about AGOTT, right? The way that she reacts to this. Her reaction immediately is, what's your game? What's your angle? Right? What are you getting out of this? If you're doing this, it's because you must be playing some kind of game. You must be trying to gain some sort of advantage, right? What does that tell you about the kind of relationships that AGOTT grew up with? What does that tell you about how she's used to responding? Like, what is affection? Oh, well, affection is a bargaining chip that you put down in order to receive something later. What is kindness? Well, it's a bargaining chip that you put down in order to get something out of it later. Why did Coco protect me? Well, because she wants blackmail material on me. It's something to hold over me or whatever. Like, why is she giving me the Sylph shoes back? Like, and what AGOTT is frustrated by is that she can sort of conceptualize the rest of it. Okay, blackmail material, that makes sense. Maybe she's plotting vengeance over like a longer period of time to humiliate me or something. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But why the shoes? Right? Like, the shoes, you can see that she's considering them, and it's like, what she doesn't know what could possibly be the angle, because there is none. Because Coco just wanted to fix the shoes and give them back, because Coco is a nice person. But AGOTT just, like, she doesn't know how to receive a kind deed. She doesn't know how to receive a favor or a kind action or protection or affection. And it's genuinely kind of heartbreaking. And Coco, like, again, the two of their pathologies rubbing up against each other, right? Poor little Coco internalizing, right? Because it's true, like, she could have sat there and waited for someone to come find her and they explained the situation and it would have been fine. But because she decided to go try and do it, she has sort of internalized that it's not like it's not AGOTT's fault. It's kind of my fault. Like, she's sort of taking the blame on herself. And I like that this scene, I don't believe that's there in the manga, if I recall correctly. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they don't do, like, the manga doesn't do that. They don't cross-cut with the nightmare in the manga. They do, that's an anime thing that they're playing with, like, to really sort of drive home what it is, right? It's part of Coco's thing is if she has the ability to help someone, she has to. Because if she doesn't, right? If I have the ability to help and I don't, because that's the nature of her hope, right? Like, she has this hope that she will be able to help her mother. But every time she's not able to help someone, every time she doesn't do it, no. So for Coco, part of fixing the shoes is also about like, she's trying to find something to do to deal with her guilt, right? All this guilt and this anxiety and fear that she's holding on to, and dragging around with her. The way she tries to deal with that is by staying up all night trying to figure out the Sylph shoes so she can give them back to AGOTT, right? And it's, well, it's bad for you. Extended sleep deprivation is not a good idea because it causes problems for your immune system and all sorts of things. Again, keep it in mind for later. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that was a complicated shit. Fuck. 3, 2, 1, pause. Oh, hey, that's why Keyfree's the goat. That was a gorgeous bit of. Yeah, there's a hand pervert working on this anime. Ooh, that's a complex little picking animation. And also little things like as he turns the plant up, they foreshorten it into the screen and then let it recede back, which is like the most complicated way to do that because he's wrapping the plant around his finger there, right? Again, this whole scene, there's nothing. They don't show him like doing this complicated motion to pick the plant in the manga. They do show him eating it. They do show him chowing down, but the fact that he's chewing it like that, fully goat chewing that shit. Chewing it like cud. Oh, Brush Buddy. Look at Look at Brush Buddy mimicking him. I love you so much. You are so good. You are the light of my life, little friend. They're having fun with this chewing animation too. Because it's not just like a what was a repeating chewing animation. It's you can see the escalation of it, right? Like the initial chewing, these big circular motions, you can see them happening with the jaw, right? That the jaw goes up, left, down, right, up. So there's this circular motion to the whole. That's gorgeous. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Puff, puff. Three, two, one, pause. What a little things. Once again, Brush Buddy mimicking him. It's so cute. They are so extra with it. You can tell that they love Brush Buddy so much. They give him so much extra little funny things to do. But this little standing up animation as well, like this. Because it's not just that he's standing up, right? Like he's standing up and then he does this little fluff. Where you can see he's like kicking out the cloak behind him, adjusting it, kicking the dust off. Still leaning forward because like you can see his head isn't coming up. So he's still leaning forward, brushing himself off, couple of motions, and then he stands up. Again, way more work than what's needed like for a scene. The description of the scene is Kiefer stands up, right? Like that's all that's happening. But this little attention to detail, right? Like that Kiefer's taking care of his clothes. Like the kind of shit that you would do if you're walking around with a huge cloak and robes is like you get used to having these little brushing yourself off, readjusting things so that it sits correctly. You get used to that. That's natural for someone who's wearing clothes like that. And I love that. I love that the characters act as though they are wearing the clothes that they're wearing, which again, a lot of animation characters, even characters with quite extravagant costumes, don't act as though they're wearing any particularly kind of complex garment. Everyone walks around like they're wearing t-shirt and jeans. No one has to really adjust themselves or like reposition or mess with the weight or deal with the complexity of the garment that they're wearing. And I do like the animators paying attention to that Kiefer's clothes change how he physically behaves in them. Which is like, you see, like, over-elaborate anime character number 5688 in a gacha game is like, They move the same way as everyone else. They move effortlessly, and they never have to adjust a damn thing that they're wearing ever, because the clothes are painted on, right? Like, the clothes are not actually clothes. They're not actually something that the character's wearing. They are just costume, right? And I like that clothes. It's clothes. And there is really an attention paid to clothes and clothing in this whole series. As we talked about, like, in... Because this, again, like, this comes from the manga, right? Like, the manga pays this same attention to garments, to the fall. Like, Shirahama has a real love of cloth and clothing, and really loves to play with the weight and the heft and the complexity of it. Here's a lovely thing. The little scene with AGOTT and Coco. The way that Coco is, like, holding the hem of her dress like that, with that little bit of tension, because she feels kind of awkward and struggling with her feelings, so she grasps onto it and, like, holds it, like, so good. Anyway. Again, the attention they pay to Brush Buddy. Whoop. Just to readjust himself. And another fucking show-off shot and a half. Animated on ones, no less. That's really good. Nyum. 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 Sorry, that's just funny to me. What an angle to choose. And after doing that show-off shot, right, like this tracking shot across the ground here, which is, like, so much fucking work, because it's, like, let's just check how many drawings this is, right? Because it's... Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 37. 37 completely unique. You can't copy-paste jack shit between these frames. Completely unique frames that had to be drawn with line work, that had to be colored and composited into just for this. Which probably goes some way towards explaining why here, when they do it again, they do it on twos. So it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's only like 8 or 9 unique frames that you have to do. Isn't that looped? Parts of it. Oh, did they loop the whole thing? Oh, yeah. Okay, so they do loop it. That makes more sense. Wait, do they loop that bit? It's hard to tell with some of the details, because I think it's arranged on separate layers. Looking at it, it looks like we have... I think the ridge back here is moving on a different layer than the bushes in front, which makes me wonder if those bushes... Because they don't... Do they sync perfectly with... That line intersects there. Okay, I think the bushes are looped, but that one ridge in the background... is either drawn on another layer or just... Yeah. Interesting. So how many frames is it? Hang on. Let me see if I can find the loop point. We'll go by the two rocks being that size. It's about here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so it's at least 10 frames. 9 or 10. Probably 9, because that would add up to 36, which means you play it 9, I think. Yeah, you play it like 4 or 5 times. Boosh! Again, so much attention paid to the cloth. And then AGOTT nearly kills them both. And I do like that Keyfree, even after AGOTT like collides into him, nearly careens the both of them off of a cliff. Instantly, his only reaction is like, "Oh my goodness! Oh dear! You were going so fast. You startled me." No getting angry, no blame, no nothing. Just like, my goodness, you were going so fast. His first reaction is just concern. Good boy, Keyfree. My. Imagining that grabbing your hair like that. What? I didn't say anything. Man, I'm perpetually just impressed with the cloth animation. Because, like, normally when you animate characters that wear these kinds of garments, you want to reduce the number of folds as much as humanly possible, right? You want it, like, as few folds, as few details that you have to fucking manage from frame to frame. These fucking people just... They just let the clothes be so complicated. And the way you can see, like, the benefit, the advantage of that is, as AGOTT is getting up on her arm here, right? That little move there, you can see the turn in the whole torso. And the way that that creates, like, where the folds go from hanging down like this, kind of slack, now they get tension, so they get pulled up towards her elbow, right? You can see that the change in direction in the clothes informs the motion of the body underneath. That's the advantage of animating cloth physics, like, to a high degree of, not realism necessarily, but fidelity, is that you can use the twist, the hold, the fall of cloth to imply the tension, the energy of the body underneath. That's also something Shirahama is so fucking good at in the manga, is using the way that a character looks and the way that cloth flows over them to imply things about their physical attitude. By which I don't mean like physical attitude as an emotional state, but physical attitude as in posture, behavior, positioning, how much energy, how much tension they're carrying in themselves. But yeah, like, Coco has done theoretically a bad job of drawing AGOTT's sylph shoes, right? The signs are too long, the casting seal is off balance. So Coco hasn't done a great job. Those casting seals probably should be redrawn. Probably should do that. That's probably a sensible thing to do. Keep that in mind for later. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Such a cool way to travel. Those are the rules. Hey, Tarta! Whoa, boy! What did I ever do to you? I'm catching strays over here. Normal town, this. I like how they just they play with your expectations for just a moment, right? Like, oh shit, are they about to get? No, okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Don't even worry about it. I think they might actually be repeating. I would have to go back and compare with the episode. But I think they might straight up be repeating a few of the shots from the episode where the girls get caught by the witch, by the brimmed cap. Just to even further fuck with you. It's a nice cut, this. They cut the moment Keyfree is obscured. Again, playing with expectations. Ah, shattered glass imagery. We'll get back to you. In the meantime, little things. I like, again, the thing about flight, right? There's a lot of, when you have someone flying in anime, and Witch Hat Atelier does this as well, a lot of the times you just kind of have them standing still in the air, right? Like you just kind of floating, okay, you're just standing still in the air. You're flying, that means you're just steady, right? There's nothing to it. Same thing superhero media, right? Superman is flying, he's just kind of still in the air like a statue almost, right? Like there's very little. And I do like that the animators here are paying attention to the idea that if this thing isn't being held in place by anything, that means it's balance, right? That means it's up to the person who's on it to keep it steady, and the thing reacts to all of his motions, right? It's little things. Same thing they do with the Sylph shoes with a bunch of the characters when they're flying, right? You can see that it's an act of balance. God, what a cool mode of transport. Anyway, people in chat are being normal about key-free panting, I'm sure. Breathing, it's very sexy. Oxygenating your blood, it's the hot new trend. All the thirst traps are doing it on TikTok. Yeah, I think that's it. This is not an episode with a whole but I was about to say this was a short reaction. I haven't really talked that much about. We've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. I was about to say, I didn't have much. Oh my God. Listen, when Tara calls me out, it's not like he's wrong. It's not like he's wrong. It's not like he's wrong.